Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters. Stay focused on your business. This is very important because now, of course, you're going to stay focused if you're doing your business full time, but let's just be real. Most people will only do their business, work on their business part time. Even when you have an idea about your business, you're like, okay, this is what you want. It's no shame in getting a part-time job. I've lost count of how many business owners, including myself, have had to work other jobs to help make ends meet. It takes a while for any business, even the successful businesses, to make money right away. It takes a while. There's no shame in that. It is what it is. You building up customers, clients, whatever. It's not gonna happen like that. I want an example of somebody it happened like that for. No matter how much money, how much of capital they had to start off with. Everybody had to start off small. So there's no shame in that. But see, what about situations where people, they have a full-time job, but they kind of half-ass at their business? It's not gonna work for them. It's not gonna work, you know? Even if it's just your fun thing, you need to allot a certain amount of time to that business. Even if you have that six-figure job. In my book, Nice Guys and Players, I recommended all men get something that they can control, some side business, something that they can control. But see, of course, yeah, they making six figures. They might not need that, but it's still something they can control. But even in those situations, you gotta have some focus on it. Even if you say, well, okay, I got this part-time, I'm gonna give it 15 hours a week. Okay, that's not, hey, that's fair. Look, you got your other stuff. You making money doing your other thing, but you still want to build it up because do you plan on staying in that career forever? Like I knew a guy, he had worked for the government for a long time, but then when he left, he started a bookstore. In fact, my books were in his store. He started a nice little, it was a used bookstore, but he would still take some new books. He took my book. And that was cool and everything. And he did that after he had finished working in the government. But here's what I'm talking about is a situation where you might be working in the government or wherever, but you start your business on the side. You got to give it a certain amount of time. Of course, you can't give it full time because you're still working on something, but you got to focus on that. You got to stay focused on that business. You got to make sure that you're still doing the stuff. Not a every now and then business. Not a every now and then business. Like back in the 90s, I had two jobs. I was working for the government. I was working at a gym and I still had my publishing business and I was still doing vending and everything. You know, and it was some weeks I'd be working honestly about maybe a 7-day week. You know, but I stayed focused because, okay, think about it. Me staying focused on that business have you watching this video right now. Because everything I'm doing now is based on my publishing business. In fact, last night, just as a, quick sidebar, quick tangent, I was looking at an outline I had for a book I was going to write, and I probably will get back to it. And also a couple outlines and stuff, you know? So it's like even, okay, I want to get back to writing full time. Well, not full time, I still got to do this, but I still got to give some hours to write. And I got to say, okay, I'm going to dedicate this much time per week to write or this much time per day. You know, getting back into the business of writing. But if I hadn't stayed focused, like say back in the day, I just said, well, I had the government job. It was paying the rent, everything. I had I had the part-time job. It was giving me a gym to go to. It was paying my savings. Okay, but what if I said back then, I'm not going to focus on my publishing? See, that was the thing. I stayed focused on the publishing. Look where I am at now. See, you got to stay focused on that business. If you have a business, you starting out, and this is especially you working with someone. And I'm going to get into another part of that too. But you got to stay focused on it. Now, what if that's what you want to do? What if you ain't really working or something? Because you got some people, they didn't work, especially during COVID, or, they only working part-time. They really not doing much. They especially got to stay focused on business. You got to stay on that until you make money. Because you got some people, they ain't even working a job. They might be sitting around playing video games or something like that. You especially need to stay focused on that business. You need to focus. Hey, you either need to be studying for the business, figuring out how you can get more customers, whatever. It's not like, oh yeah, you just do the business for a little bit and then you sit around and chill. Nah, that doesn't work. That does not work. Because you know what? I've been there too. Yeah, I had 1,000 jobs. I used to do investigative work at the DC courthouse. And yeah, I made some money with that, but I ain't give enough. I didn't give as much time as I could have gave to that. I look back at it and I was like, I was sitting around chilling a lot and at the gym or doing whatever. And I said, yeah, I made a little bit of money. I could have made a lot more. Like, you want to focus. Don't make my mistake. I'm telling you, don't make my mistake. You got to focus on whatever you're doing. You got to give time to it, especially if you have time to give to it. You got to say to yourself, okay, all right, I may not have the customers right now. What can I do? Let me look into what can I do. What can I do to improve it? What education can I get? Is there a seminar I can go to? I need to study this. Maybe I need to study, read some books. Maybe I need to go out and find what's happening, like hitting the streets and find out what's happening for my particular business. Maybe I need to low-key check out somebody else in the same business. And people do that all the time. Let me be clear on that. See how they doing, how they setting up. Shoot, sometimes they might help you, depending on what the business is. Sometimes they might help you. Like I heard about this barber who he helped 5 other barbers set up their own shops. The only thing he asked them to do is not set up near him, and they didn't. So he was like, okay. But, what can you learn? Maybe you can hit somebody else okay, let me use a barber for example. Maybe you can ask that barber, as long as you're not competing directly with him, and as long as the barber has the idea that, hey, there's food enough for all of us can eat. Oh, okay, maybe they'll help you out. You might have to spend some time in there. You want to set up your own thing. Maybe, he might say, well, okay, you can set up here sometime, get some customers. I don't mind, He might not. You get some barbers like that. You get some barbers like that. But you got to stay focused on your business no matter what. You got to put the time in. You want it to grow. You got to see what you can to do to make it grow. Because there really is a lot of people out there, either they working their business part-time or they call themselves full-time, but they ain't making the money they could. And I'm like, okay, so what you doing to make more money? What are you doing? So that's very important. Very, very important. So stay focused on your business. All right? Stay focused. All right? So you know the deal right now. You know the deal. Let's go make that money.